So far as 29 minutes and 29 seconds he's been riding. Just 23 seconds better than Victor Espiritu, the defending champion. And the situation today as the riders make ready, it's a 3.3 kilometre circuit here in Baguio City. It's full of technical problems, there's short climbs, some sharp descents and some very tight bends. Last chance to loosen up those legs. They face up tomorrow to the final week of the Marlborough Tour. And it couldn't be better poised now after 2 weeks of racing, just a few seconds separating the top two riders. So even this very short race could see a change in the overall. This is the course they face, Sev. It's only 60 kilometres. It's very rapid around this right-handed loop. It stays here, based around Barnham Park. It's a beautiful day, and there is a huge crowd enjoying themselves. 3 spins as we move around the circuit.
As we take a look at Carlo Gieb, a lot of things going on in his mind right now, and Juan Campo is thinking of the same thing, most likely.
Well, he's third overall now, Campo, and he's not very far away from the race lead, so he's thinking of attacking maybe. But the gun goes, the riders roll away, and even as they leave the start line here, they have a very short climb to just lead them out of the home straight. Then they make a right turn, and then they go on to the circuit. There's the climb as they come over the top. 28 degrees Celsius today. It's a bit cooler. It's actually great for cycle racing, a low humidity and light winds, because that's the pleasure of being here on top of Baguio City, high up on the mountains.
Yes, indeed. Baguio City back on its feet after that devastating earthquake in 1990. City is welcoming the tour once more.
And the flag goes in after one lap of the tour around the circuit. They're now facing the 14 full circuits of the course, and immediately, as we've come to expect every day, these riders go out onto the attack. The speed has shot up to more than 50 kilometres an hour, and it looks as though we've got the teams here for the Pangasinan. Oh, what's happened to this? And that was a little bit of that was Johnny Borja, who has just gone into the corner there. I think got his wheel stuck in the side of the road. He almost fell off, and he's going to have to stop, straighten his saddle, and he better put his chain back on as well.
Yes,
very lucky not to fall off.
Correct.
This is still the Pangasinan team. They're trying to start a move here. They've had 3 men at the front. There's 2 of them up there at the moment. Avelino Bayunga is the rider setting the pace. This will be a very nervous race for the yellow jersey, Carlo Gieb, because he'll have to watch these moves as they slip away from the front of the peloton. Coming down the home straight to complete the first full lap of racing, the field basically all together, but being stretched here by the speed of Pangasinan.
Going through Burnham Park, as Phil said, just completing the first lap.
And Aurelino Bayunga bringing them through under the banner, out onto lap number 2, and the Koreans, I note, are not far away from the front there. They're watching the moves. Both you and I fancy the Koreans today, because this is their type of racing, pure speed and strength.
And no climbs, hardly any climbs. And with Bayunga, there he is on your picture. Crowd delighted that they'll get a chance to see more of the cyclists, and they'll pass around more than just one flurry towards the end.
Yes, I think that's why they put the criterion races in these circuit races. It gives the crowd great value, and it's a free show, of course. And an attack by Victor Espiritu. Now we're only going out here onto lap number 2, and Espiritu has already stretched the field, and the yellow jersey must pay close attention to this. He is joined at the front here by O'Connor. Alberto O'Connor's also had one stage win. We've got 2 of them all the way now. 2 riders from the Philippines, and they're feeling very confident after yesterday. The inevitable Korean policeman has now crossed the gap.
And O'Connor just fading away in the picture just for a moment there. O'Connor picking up the lap from Quezon City to San Jose.
Well, O'Connor is gone, and Espiritu has lost a little bit of his fire after that short climb away from the start-finish line. The bunch more or less has come back, so that attack has been contained, but it does show one thing. It shows that this young man who had a marvellous ride yesterday in the high mountains has come out again, not feeling tired at all. There is a split in this field, you know. We've got about 10 riders here trying to get off the front of the big bunch. It was caused by that attack by Espiritu. Another attack going on the right. This is the Malaysian rider here who's having a go, Zen Zong Hong, who lies in 29th place. He had his fair share of bad luck this race. Crashes and punctures are putting down the overall classification, but today's another day, and there's always a stage winner on the horizon, and they've let him go. The chances are Espiritu wouldn't mark this rider because of his lower place in the overall classification. No reaction from that group. So Zen Song Hong has been given his chance to break clear of the field here. That's the difficult bend. It's a right turn, very adverse camber coming off a steep descent, and then they make this left turn here. You'll note some water on the right, and everybody worried the riders might slip in that water, but safely through. They know the course now, and they're going to cover it 15 times. Keremit bringing the main field round in that bright green jersey of the best young rider in this race, although that jersey frankly rightly is owned now by Espiritu, who's ahead of him on the overall classification. But he wears the San Miguel King of the Mountains jersey at the moment. And of course you can only for all, and that might cause the other big guns to start firing. So he's in that little four-man chase there. Peloton, and this is the main part of the peloton. There is Espiritu. He's been put back in his place for the moment at least. What a lovely position he's in now, just 23 seconds off the race lead, and all the pressure on the race leader, Carlo Giep. This is the chase group, and another Malaysian on the front here, waving at Tonton to give him a hand. Suharmi Keton, he's on to the right. This is Tonton Susanto on the left, and they've got a good little breakaway going here now because they're closing in on the leader, Zen Song Hong. But I think the possibility of there's Zen Song Hong. He's been caught now. You see his teammate first, Suharmi Keton. This is the main field here. They're still content to allow that move to develop. But I think, unfortunately, the presence of Tonton Susanto of Indonesia, he's on the far right in that red and white jersey in this group, will cause alarm bells back in the main field because he's a real challenger overall in this race. So we've got a little group going away now. Just having a look down the line there to see if I can spot a white jersey from Korea, and I can't, so the Koreans haven't got a man in that move at the minute. Still Keremit in that green jersey at the front of the main pack. A lot of white jersey Korean riders near the front. There's the yellow jersey. Carlo Giep sat in the middle of the field. Doesn't seem too concerned about the attack from the Indonesian captain. As he sets the pace here, he knows what he's done. He's got himself into a nice move here, and he's breaking up that breakaway straight away. Now, is this a counter-attack? Because if so, we're looking at Espiritu, who's come off the front of the main field. And I think the rider with him is the Korean Yoho Sung. Now, Yoho Sung, already a stage winner, is now trying to get across with none other than Victor Espiritu. I am extremely surprised the yellow jersey of Giep hasn't marked the man who's only a few seconds behind him overall. He should have been with him. But they're coming right across to the leaders, and a fine piece of riding here, and well spotted too. Espiritu coming across with Yoho Sung. So the Koreans have put their man in the leading group. But goodness me, we've got the rider second overall. This is the first sprint of the day, taken out by Zen Song Hong. Second was Susanto, and third there Yoho Sung. So that's the result of the first sprint. We now have a leading group with a danger man in it. There could be two danger men in it soon. This is Wong Campo on the attack, flying third overall. What a time for us to take a break.
We continue with the 9-stage criterium of the Marlboro Tour from 1997. This is all around the main thoroughfares of Baguio City.
Well, we're only about 20 minutes into the scheduled hour of racing, and the two most dangerous rivals to the race leader, Carlo Giep, have got away from him. Wong Campo of Hong Kong, third overall, just over a minute behind, and second yesterday. And the man just behind him there, Victor Espiritu, who won yesterday, seconds behind Giep. He has allowed them to go. He's made a big mistake here, and they're going to make the best of it. Breakaway, we've got Susanto, the Indonesian team captain, the inevitable Korean who is here, is Yoho Sung, and we've got the Malaysian rider, Suharmi Keton. They are the riders in the breakaway. They've come together, and it looks to me as though Giep is powerless to do anything about it at the moment. He's sitting in the centre of the main field, while these five scurry for what is a big time gap already, around about 20 seconds.
It seems like Giep has been swallowed up by that big group.
I'm just wondering, in fact, Sam, if Giep is still feeling ill, because he was ill yesterday, and I asked him at the start if he felt okay. He said he did, but he is a man of few words.
Yes, indeed.
There's Tonton Susanto, Indonesia. He was in the mountains yesterday among the leaders. And there's the bell for the sprint, so it's a second sprint next time around. We've already seen one. Espiritu really feeling charged today. He's riding so strongly. He must be feeling this is a gift from heaven to be allowed to escape. Remember, he's only a few seconds behind overall, and in another lap lap or so, he'll officially be the race leader on the road. He'll have the yellow jersey he's searching for.
Part of the mind game of Victor Espiritu is he knew that when we got to this part of the tour, he would make his move. As we take a look at yellow.
Forward gear, and he's 33 seconds down. Well, that's all the confirmation we need. It now means that out front, Victor Espiritu is the new leader of the Tour, and he'll be the 7th leader if he can hang on to the end. It's been a very changing race this over the past 2 weeks. And Juan Susanto of Indonesia, he's still riding high in the overall classification. The yellow jersey, taking a drink here, hasn't mustered his team and just seems to be content. I think he is suffering today, and I think his face is saying that.
Carlo Gibb picked up the yellow jersey starting at the 5th stage and hung on to it through the 6th and the 7th before losing it somewhere in the second part of the 7th stage.
On the team time trial stage, and now he's got it back yesterday in the mountains, and it looks as though he's going to pass it back again over this time to Espiritu if these time gaps are maintained. On the back of the circuit here for the race leader, but for the breakaway, they are now more than half a minute in front. Really, these circuit races, they're done to please the crowd. It shouldn't have been a big race for the race lead, but this is the way the Marlborough Tour is this year. These riders never stop trying, heading down towards the home straight again. Remember, there's a sprint this time. First 3 riders get points for the sprints competition, and Tonton Susanto, who is down in 5th place, has scored already today and is rapidly heading up towards the 2nd place spot, and that's why he's launching the attack right now. He's being followed by the Malaysian rider Suhami Keton. Keton takes over. This is the main field, and still the yellow jersey sitting almost at the back of the pack and showing no interest in the escape. This is quite unthinkable when you have your most 2 dangerous rivals out there, 2nd and 3rd in the race, and he's not even offering a fight back. I can only think he is feeling sick.
Throughout the course of this stage, hardly any charge coming from Carlo Gibb.
One more right turn to come as we get into the straight for the sprint. Watch out for Tonton Susanto, because he's the rider trying to pick up the sprint points to improve his overall situation in that specialist competition. Espiritu and Juan Campo, all they want to do is keep the pace up and try and gain more vital seconds over the yellow jersey group. There's the sprint banner. You can probably see the white flag waving, and smoothly through on the inside, Tonton Susanto gets the 3 points for the victory in the sprint. He's doing well in that competition today. Juan Campo got the 2 per second. This race of only 1 hour. But here's the main field coming through. The sprint purely for bravado. There's no points this far down the field. The yellow jersey is a long, long way down the pack as well. Juan Campo riding so well. He's a very aggressive rider from Hong Kong, especially so as his team is not strong. He only has 3 teammates left in the race. The other 2 have been eliminated, and of those 3 there's really only one who can help him, and that's John Prosser, the English rider on the squad. So Wong is having to do most of the work himself, and so hats off to him. He's riding high on the overall in 3rd. His gear. He hasn't taken part in the race at all today. He's feeling the full force of what it's like to wear the leader's yellow jersey. And it might be the turn of Espiritu to find that too by the end of this stage if these time gaps are maintained. Oh, there's been a little bit of a fall there. And the rider who just didn't quite get out of the way, Bernard Luzon, from the Nueva Ecija team, he was the one that touched the wheel and fell straight up and away. They're made of rubber, these cyclists, sometimes. And Jack Watson, the international referee, explained to the riders the time gaps and the lead they have over the main field. Well, the career in the back is very quiet. Johan Sung, he hasn't done anything yet. Perhaps he will soon. We'll take a break. driving this breakaway. Looking down the line here, Wang Kong Po on the far side, the Hong Kong rider, and the Koreans are looking over the shoulder, and that's because yet another one is coming across the gap on his own. This is amazing. They started with one in the breakaway, then they had two, and very shortly they're going to have three. There he is. Now we've already got over here Yo Hong Sung, we've got Yun Dai Hong, and now it looks as though we've got yet another one, and this one will be Yi Sung Wang, and he's the man who's won 4 stages already. There he is, tacked onto the back of the race. Well, good luck to them because they're riding with great intelligence. Now, going back to the field here, the yellow jersey has never one speed to the front of the race today, and I think that he really must be feeling quite sick because normally the yellow jersey would have been chasing this breakaway. In a very solid breakaway, Espiritu has shown no signs of fatigue from his magnificent performance yesterday when he led the race for 115 kilometres through some of the most difficult terrain of this year's event. And he's still finding the strength now to drive the race up towards the line, and the sprint here. And Susanto being pipped on the line by Espiritu. So he will get the 3 points for the sprint. Susanto gets second. He's moved up in that competition now, and the Wrong gets third. Now it's down to business in these closing laps to keep on going for time gain. Second and third overall in the breakaway. They are closing in all of the time on the overall lead of Carlo Gier, who still remains mid to the back of the big field and doesn't seem at all interested in the ride today. The Koreans are also getting a grip at the front end of this race now as we watch Yun Dai Hong set the pace at the front. He too showing no signs of that spectacular fall yesterday. There's the peloton going through the same point for the sprint with no points for them.
The Koreans were faced by the size of the mountains that confronted them yesterday, but today it seems they have no such problem.
No, they're feeling free as a bird here on this course. They've read it well, putting 3 men up here in such a simplistic manner, one on one, and now they've got control of that breakaway. But for once, you see, people like Espiritu and Wong Campo are going to welcome the Koreans because they're gaining time over the yellow jersey of Giev, and they're willing to work hard. Look at this now.
Final laps, yes indeed.
And there's Wong Campo, the lone Hong Kong rider who's flying the flag here. And he's going to move up overall again tonight if he gets the time gaps. 1 lap to go, the crucial final circuit of 3.3 kilometres, and the main field is not coming any closer.
The only Malaysian in that pack is Susami Kenton.
Yes, but good see the Malaysians, they have the good days and they have the bad days. Today they actually started this break, but now they've got another rider up here. Yi Sung Wang has gone. This is where they got confused here with some lapped riders, and Yi Sung Wang has made the most of that confusion. He's chased the motor vehicles out of the pack, and it looked like he may have gone. Well, if he has, and it looks like he has, he is heading for his 5th stage victory of this tour. So, as it comes round this time, they're in the confusion of lapping the riders the previous 2 round. They will have 1 further lap to complete. There's the main field, up the steep little climb, just over half a minute back, and I think more now, if you could get a time check on that. There's the bell this time.
The final lap, he took the prologue, he took the third, and he just likes the odd numbers. He seems to be winning on those days.
It does seem to be that case, Seb. There's the chase group, which was originally the breakaway. They've been left behind now by Yi Sung Wang, and there he is. He is such a powerful rider, this man. Once he gets free of everybody, he goes with such speed. Espiritu trying to keep the best of the rest on the chase down here. They're not so much concerned with catching the leader as staying away from the yellow jersey of Giev. Into the finish now for the race leader. Here comes stage win number 5 for him. And Yi Sung Wang, we've seen it 4 times already as a dress rehearsal. There it is.
Yes, he just keeps coming back like a song, Phil.
The 2-arm salute for Yi Sung Wang. He gets the stage victory. This is Korea's 8th victory of the tour. Only the Philippine national team have presented us with different winners so far. And as the main pack, or the lead pack here, swings into the home straight, the sprint for the small time bonuses, and it looks as though Wong Campo is going to take a valuable 2nd place bonus here. Wong Pan Campo is a great sprinter. He gets it ahead of Victor Espiritu, who also snicks a time bonus on the line, and that will be significant. Let's have a look at the stage result. Yi Sung Wang first, Yo Ho Sung getting second, Wong Campo third, Espiritu fourth, and Tonton Sudanto is 5th. Yun Dai Hong is 7th, and Azizan Manaf from Malaysia, he gets 8th. Significant today, though, that the big escape has worked. This, by the way, the 4th stage, the Koreans have scored a 1st and 2nd place on the results. Overall, though, look at this now. The new leader of the Marlborough Toys, Espiritu, 25 seconds ahead of Carlo Gibb. He's reversed the classification. Wong is staying in 3rd, but he's closer. Placido Valdez is 6th. Renato De Losa, he's down in 7th. And the yellow jersey, what a weekend for him. He's now got the race leader's yellow jersey, and in the team, a convincing team lead 2 for the Philippines over Korea, and Malaysia quite a considerable way behind in 3rd place.
And in the regional competition, Pangasinan, Northern Luzon is at 2nd, and Nueva Ecija is at